So I need to take one picture. Just a minute. Let me take one picture. And so we need to wait for a few more minutes. Let the people join and we'll start. So have you watched the documents which I have shared? Have you seen? Anyone? Anyone has seen the documents?
No, for me, no, I didn't have time.
No, unfortunately,
I was a bit late. I was a bit late to share.
Yeah,
So just because of that, you all couldn't see the documents. No worry. So this is the topic. Get smart. You might have realized that the people who are intelligent, who are more creativity, if you compare those people with yourself, that moment you feel that why others are smarter than us, why others are intelligent than us, why others are more creative than us. So this kind of thoughts comes in our mind. So why this kind of things happen, why others are smarter than you, why you start thinking all these things, why others they have more potential than your brain. So this kind of thoughts comes or not. Everybody thinks about all these things. Everybody has this kind of idea in their mind. So do you feel when you're not able to do any kind of work perfectly, you're not able to get the solution of any problem, so that moment you call to others, you ask to your friends whom you feel that they are intelligent than you. So this thing happen or not? This thing happen with all the people. When you are not able to solve any problem, when you are not able to, like, you all are learning English language, you all are communicating, practicing. Sometimes you don't understand something, like you don't get the idea in your mind. You consult to the expert, you consult to your friends who is more good communicator. You ask them, you always try to ask them that how to be good communicator. You ask this kind of idea. So why don't you become great communicator? So this kind of things come in your mind or not, right? So this thing comes. If you talk about other things, if you're a sportsman, to play any particular game, when you're not able to understand something in the game, so you ask to other people who are smarter than you. So why others are smarter, why you are not smarter? The same kind of level you have, the same kind of level they have. So this kind of thing happens or not? So this thing we are going to discuss over here. You need you need to just absorb, you need to like accept few tools of your life. If you apply those tools in your life, so you can be smarter. Sometimes we waste our time. Sometimes we just do some trivial work, ridiculous work, irrelevant work, and we waste our time. We do not become intelligent just because of those things. So always we need to take care of the time. We need to take care of a few more things. Okay, now we are moving to the next slide. So the same question I have written over here. Have you ever thought your thought are less intelligent than others' thoughts? There are spelling mistakes. So your thoughts are less intelligent and others' thoughts are bigger. Okay. Have you ever thought about your brain? How much percentage of your brain you are able to use? What the percentage of your brain you are able to use it? Can you thought about the potential of your brain? How much potential it has? Suppose in your bank account there are 20 lakhs dollar in your bank account, but you can use only $20,000. You cannot use the entire amount. Can you imagine this thing? You have that 20 lakh dollar in your bank account, but you can use only 20,000. Can you imagine this? The same thing happens with your brain. Your brain has a lot of capacity, but how much we are using? Only 3%, 2%, 4%. If people are more intelligent, so hardly they are able to use 9%, 8%, like this. Just think about it. If you start using more than 10% of your brain, so where you will see yourself? So what would be your intelligence? What would be the level of your intelligence? Start imagining these things in your mind. Think about it. You start using your brain more than 10%. And those who are using 20%, the same thing happens. Like the example which I gave to you, the amount which you have in your bank account, that's a $20 lakh, but you're able to use only 20,000. So I'm able to use, you're able to use only 8%, 5%, 3%, 4% of our brain, the entire brain. So can you imagine all these things? Why we are not able to use that? Okay, so the thing is this, first of all, we need to unlock our brain potential. What does that mean? Unlock your brain potential. Very first, you need to understand how much potential you have. How much potential you have in your brain. How much potential you have. You need to understand this thing. You know, our brain, it has cells, brain cells. That's called the brain cells. And those brain cells are responsible for your notions, your ideas, your thoughts, your intelligence. And we have got around more than 1 lakh billions brain cells. Okay, and each brain cells are connected to more than 10,000 other brain cells, and each brain cells are responsible for ideas, notions, imaginations, evaluations, all the things. Are you understanding what I'm saying, what I'm trying to explain you? First of all, I'm trying to explain you the potential of your brain, how much potential you have in your brain. That I'm trying to explain you. Okay, first of all, understand the capacity of brain, how much you can think, how much you can absorb the things, how much idea you can bring in your brain, how much fast you can be in calculating the things. So you need to understand these things. When how much you are using your brain, that much your brain would be smarter. If you're not using your brain, so like it would be as a useless things. Your hand could work, your leg could work, you can speak whatever, right? Not in a smart way. You can speak whatever. You cannot satisfy the people. You cannot satisfy your own self if you're not using the brain. So now moving to the next slide. So unlock your brain potential. First of all, you need to understand the capacity of brain. I have told you the capacity of brain. Then next we are moving to the slide. Okay. So there is one example by which you can understand. You need to just break the perceptions, the notions, the ideas which comes in your mind, pre-notions, ideas, and the way of your thinking, how you are accepting the things. Suppose you have you have shown something, you were demonstrated something, and whatever you saw, you just speak only those things. You are not able to focus on other things. You can understand with the help of one example, like 6 blind men describe elephants. 6 blind people are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So how they are describing the elephant. So one man, he's watching the ear of an elephant, saying that it's a kind of fan. The elephant is like a fan. One person's just watching the teeth, tusk, that can be said, saying that's a kind of sharpen and a spear. Elephant is like a spear. And one person is just touching the nose, saying it's kind of snake. Elephant is like a snake. And another person is just watching the stomach, touching the stomach, saying that elephant is like a wall. And another person is just touching the tail of the elephant. And he's saying that, so elephant is like a rope. So these are the perceptions. These are the thoughts, notions of the 6 blind people. The same things happen with us. You know, when we watch something, when we are shown something, okay, we are not able to focus other things. we have to watch other things as well. What all other things are available in front of us. We should watch here and there, left and right, in all places where we are working, with whom we are talking. We shouldn't concentrate on the things which you are only shown, you are only demonstrated. You should draw your way of thinking, your perceptions. Just change your perceptions of watching the things, listening the things, absorbing the things. Just change your perceptions, by which you can just broad your mind. All right. So you could understand. Okay, one line is written. You have to just focus on other things, other particular things which are responsible for bringing more ideas. Okay, now the thing is this. Right. So now we are moving to the next slide. Okay, so our mind also work on pre-notions. You know, what does it mean, pre-notions? Pre-notions means sometimes we have already just made some thoughts about others in our mind. We have already made some thoughts. That person is not good. We have just made this thought in our mind, and we always think about this thing, that person is really not good. Whether how much that person is good, intelligent, smart, real, genuine, or honest, but you cannot convince these things to yourself. Why you are not able to convince? Because you have already got the pre-notions about that guy, that person. So just because of all these things, just because of these things, you cannot change your mindset, you cannot change your thoughts. Suppose your friend, you have invited your friend in your dinner, in your party, but he came late, and you don't have good ideas about your friend. He's saying some reason that why he is late. He's telling some genuine reason, authentic reason to you, but you're not accepting because you have got some bad thoughts about that person, that friend. You're saying that he's always making some excuses, that why is he just late? He doesn't like me, so that's why he's just late. So this thing you have already in your mind about your friend. So first of all, your mind should be flexible and adaptable. Your mind should always ready to adapt all the situation with all the people. And how you can get this idea in your mind, how you can be adaptable or flexible, by communicating. How much you communicate, how much you talk with your people, with your friends, with others, that much your flexibility will improve. Your adaptability should be improved. You're not communicating, you're not talking to others, how can you be flexible? How much you talk, that much you understand others, and others understand you. So these things are important for your life. Okay, next we are moving to the next slide. Okay, long-term thinking and immediate action thinking. So these two things are important. You need to understand what is this long-term thinking and immediate action. So what does it mean, long-term thinking and immediate actions? You know, there are two kinds of thoughts. Sometimes we take the decision on the spots. We take only few seconds. And sometimes we take a lot of time for thinking, making the decision, taking the decision. So why this thing happen? When you are planning for your life, when you have some long-term planning, so that moment, you always take time. Suppose you are going to buy a house. You consult to many brokers, many people, many property dealer. They always show you a lot of properties. But you always say that, okay, let me get some time. You take time, 1 week, 3 weeks, sometimes you take 1 month. Because it's a long-term planning. You always take the time. You know that if you take quick decision, you can be trapped. You can buy a wrong property. When you're going to get married with someone whom you don't know, you do not take the decision immediate. You think lots of times whom you are going to marry, because the matter of your life, you're going to spend your entire life with that partner, with that person. You talk to that person, you spend time with him or her, and after that you take the decision that whether that person is fit for you, for your life, for your family or not. So these two things are important: immediate action and long-term actions. So these two kinds of thoughts we need to always take care. So the thing is, why these things collapse, why we become unsuccessful, when we just change it, when we have to take the long-term thoughts, when we have to make the decisions taking the long time, that moment we make the quick decision. Sometimes we saw a girl, that girl is beautiful, and we see that, okay, if I am not going to say yes for that girl, maybe that girl will not accept me, maybe that girl will not marry me, she will go to another guy, another boy. Okay, so you make quick decision on this kind of situation. You say yes to that girl and you get married immediately, but you don't know the behavior of that girl. You don't know about her attitude, her way of talking, right? She comes in your life and starts shouting on you and destroy your life because you took immediate action. You took decision on the spot, but just watching her beauty. Okay, the same thing happened when you are driving car. Suddenly another car, another person, another guy came in front of your car, you're driving, and you are just thinking that what to do now. You're taking some time. When you are taking time, so you just crash with that another car. So in this kind of situation, you need to be quick decision maker. So you got the difference between taking the decision, when you have to take the quick decision, when you have to take the time for making the decision. So these two thoughts are important for your life. These two tools, always keep in your mind that when you have to take long-term like a thought process and when you have to make quick decision. Got it? So there are a few tools. If you apply those tools for your life, you can make your life better. So few examples writing here. Like first is alcoholic person, 5-year study, and visionary people. The first one is alcoholic people. You might have seen the people who are alcoholic, who are boozer, when they have one pack in their hand. After finishing the one pack, immediately they want the another pack. Immediately they want quick. They cannot wait. Does it happen or not? They want on the spot. Once they complete the one pack, now they want another pack. Okay. So in this kind of situation, what happened? So these alcoholic people, what do you think about these alcoholic people? They want the pack on the spot. They cannot wait. What kind of ideas you have about the boozers? Are they smarter? Are they stupid? Are they, what to say, that intelligent, educated? So is there anyone who would like to say about it? The people who are alcoholic. Anyone? Just give idea. You might have experienced the alcoholic people. You might have a lot of friends, any family members, and might be you be the alcoholic occasionally or like daily. Anyone? Raymond, would you like to say something about it? The people who are alcoholic, who make the pack immediately, the second pack, third pack, then fourth pack.
I think yes. Thank you guys, and good morning from this side. I think people who are like alcoholic, probably they just take immediate action, whatever, like, okay, another bottle and another one, huh? Just to actually they don't think about the consequences. It's just immediately action. One bottle after another bottle, please. They are happy at that time and drunk. And it's difficult to communicate with them. or change that mind, their mind. Yeah, it's really, really hard. Seeing a woman and get married, yes, immediate action. You don't want to lose that opportunity. Sometimes like, oh, this is my opportunity. So immediately action. I want to marry you. And then later you will have the consequences, of course, yeah. Because she's probably completely different. Beauty from the outside only. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Raymond.
Thank you.
Okay, so next point was, it was about 5-year study. 5-year study, whatever subject you have chosen, whatever passion you have chosen for your life. If you work for 5 years on that passion, that can be said as a long-term preparations, right? So no one can defeat you if you have studied, if you have worked till 5 years. So always think about it, that minimum 5 years you have to give on your passion, on your study, or whatever things you have chosen for your life, for your career. After 5 years, you can be the successful person. Do not devour your mind from another things. Just focus on the thing which you have chosen for your life. At least spend 5 years, wait for 5 years, spend time. After that, you would get the result. Many times, what happens that you just spend only 1 year or 6 months or 8 months, and you don't get the result. When you don't get the result, what would happen? When you don't get the results, you get the disappointment. And once you are disappointed, that moment, you just switch your passion. So you have to wait for 5 years, minimum 5 years. After that, you can get the result. Then the next point, we have visionary people. So that's, I'm talking about the long-term planning, long-term decision makings. Might have seen the people who are scientists. They have visionary people. They have visions for the long term. They don't think about the result that comes after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or like 5 months or 1 year. They always wait for the years, 5 years, 10 years. Then they get the result. So these things are about the long-term planning, long-term thoughts. So 2 things which are important, that one is immediate thought process and another one is long-term thought process. So you need to always take care that when you have to make quick decision and when you have to take long time decisions, when you have to take longer time. So moving to the next slide. So is there confusion, anything? Is it clear to you all people? So human thoughts are like bubbles in champagne. Just Ellie, do you want to say something?
No.
All right, so I thought that you were supposed to say something. So human thoughts are like bubbles in champagne. So many times we bring a lot of thoughts in our mind. We just make some decisions, and after some time we forget. It just disappears from your mind. So this kind of thoughts comes in your mind. This kind of like ideas which come in your mind. Always you make the plans. Always you make the decisions that you are going to do this thing tomorrow onwards or day after tomorrow onwards, and some other plans you made in your mind. But once you meet with other people, once you meet with another things, so those old thoughts just disappear from your mind. And stop thinking quickly and immediately. So as I told you that when you have to take long-term decisions, at that moment, you need to be quick. As I given you example of married life, when you are going to get married, so if you are taking the quick decision, so what things can happen? Yes, Yannick, you can speak now.
Okay, afternoon from my side, Shariza. Okay, about the first one, always take a long decision. It's depending of the situation will happen in front of you. You can have a one immediate situation, then you are obliged to give your answer as soon as possible. In this case, you don't have choice to wait for a long time. We need to take a immediate decision.
See, that's you need to understand that when you have to take the longer time for making the decisions.
Yeah, sure. But I think I spoke about the situation where you have to take decision immediately. You don't have a choice. You need to look at I'm a medical doctor. Sometimes during the surgery, some issue can happen. We need to act directly. You don't need, you can take a lot of time. If your patient can pass away, you have to take a immediate decision about what you're doing to solve
Yannick,
the issue.
how much a doctor takes time to become a doctor? How much time it takes to become a doctor? I think that more than 10 years.
No,
more than 10 years.
8 years to become a generalist. But if you want to make the decision as me, it's take a 12th year after a bachelor degree. Yeah.
So you have already given 12 years.
Yeah.
All right. For taking a decision in few seconds. In these kind of critical situations. In these kind of critical situations. So you have already given those 12 years to become the smarter. So you already became the smarter, making the quick decisions. You are not learning this thing, taking the decision within a second. You are not learning this thing on the spot. For taking the decisions, you have already spent 12 years. In my country, more than 12 years, sometimes people take to become a doctor. First of all, first 3, 4, 5 years, they prepare for the examination. And after that, when they get the admissions, they spend around 5 or 6 years. And after that, they spend 2, 3 years more. Then again, they spend more years with some other experienced doctor. And they're learning under the age of some experienced doctor. Then they practice for many years. And after 15 or 20 years, then they become the doctor. And after 20 years, if they are going to make a decision in few seconds, so you cannot say that they have to make decisions in few seconds. Already they have spent 20 years.
Okay, then overall, you consider about the wideness of the people. Because
I'll tell you,
think the person already prepared about it, prepared to take a decision very fast. Due to the time it took to learn.
Yannick, I would like to tell you one example of Picasso. You might have heard the story of Picasso, that once he was just walking on the garden or some public places. So once one lady came to him, he said that, "You're Picasso, can you draw something for me?" So immediately in a few seconds, he just draw some things on a piece of paper, and he just asked her that, "This is the $billions picture. You can sell it." She said that within a few seconds, you just draw this picture. So can you teach me how to draw the picture, how to how to paint something? Like, it takes a very less time. So I think that if you teach me for like 1 month or 10 days, so I can learn this kind of paintings. So that moment, Picasso said to him that, for learning this kind of painting, learning this kind of arts, I spent more than 30 years. So he spent 30 years for making a 5 minutes of design, 5 minutes of painting. And that paintings is so costly, priceless, that can be said as it. So for making a quick decision, few seconds of decisions, you have already given years. So you were prepared yourself.
Okay. Gotcha.
Got it. So in order to be quicker, immediately decision makers, when you have to make longer decisions. Okay. And the third point is believe on pre-planned thoughts done by others. Okay, I have already said to you all people that you have to talk with the others who are experienced, who have already got a lot of things in their life, who have learned something in their life, who have achieved in their life, who are successful people. And one more thing is important for you all people, that do not criticize any person who is successful, right? How much or how he became the successful, in what manner he became the successful. Many times we see the person who are successful, we start criticizing. We start saying some bad words for those successful people. That person does not belong to our community. That can be said. This kind of thoughts comes in people's mind. Okay. Always appreciate, praise the people who are successful, whether your friend or family member or any other person whom you are communicating or not, but you have to appreciate his success. Once you are appreciating the success will reach to you. And if you are not praising the success, the success will not praise you. Okay, so the thing is this: always you need to be with the people who are successful, who are quick decision maker, who always make the decision truth and pragmatic. Okay, so these tools are important for becoming smarter. Now we are moving to the next slide. So is there anyone who wants to ask something? There was one guy who was raising the hand. Someone? Okay, I don't know. Like someone was raising the hand. So I talked to Yannick. Okay, now. Some other things are there. Okay, there are some reasons. You need to just understand few more tools are there. The first one is to listen live, jealous to successful people. The first point is to listen live. You know, many times you are listen some fake information or somebody is telling lie to you, and you start disliking that person. That why that person is telling lie to you. So there are sometimes reasons that why others are lying you. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you have to tell a lie to others. Sometimes you listen lie from others, but you make a wrong decision for those people. So there are some reasons why others are telling lie to you. So you need to understand the reason. You need to be adaptable, flexible, listening the lie. You shouldn't take the quick thoughts in your mind. Do not be pre-notions. Do not bring pre-notions in your mind. Notions means ideas. Okay, do not bring pre-notions in your mind. Okay. Then the next point was jealous to successful people. As I already told you, you don't need to feel jealous to successful people. Suppose your neighbor, he has made a beautiful house. Okay, so sometimes some thoughts start coming in your mind. He has made this beautiful house, or your neighbor or your friend bought expensive car. You start feeling so immediate, like this is the natural things. Some thoughts start coming in your mind. You start feeling, you start thinking that, so okay, he has got this kind of car, or this kind of bike, or this kind of houses which are beautiful or expensive. He spend a lot of money. So this kind of thoughts start coming in your mind. So it's better to not to jealous that person. Just appreciate that person, appreciate his work, how he has achieved all these things in his life. So why didn't you achieve? So what is the difference between you and that person? So you don't need to just think, have this kind of idea in your mind. Never feel jealous to successful people or other people. The next point we have, unable to change the situations. Okay, so many times what happens that you get some situations, or sometimes you are not able to get job, you are not able to change the bad situation which you have, right? So you just get the disappointment. You're working somewhere and you're not able to get the leads. So in this kind of situation, you get the disappointment. So what you have to do, you no need to be disappointed in this kind of situation. You always need to talk when you have bad situations. When suppose you're working in some places, in some offices, so you have to talk to your bosses. You need to bring the gap between the boss and yourself. You always communicate with the seniors once you are not able to change the situations. And if you're doing nothing, so you get nothing. So these things are important. These tools are important. The next point we have, that is about communicate. So as I told you that you have to communicate. The third and fourth is the same line. And avoid negative notions. You know, generally what happens that when we have got disappointment, so that moment negative ideas start coming in your mind. You stop working on few things. Okay, so you no need to just have negative ideas in your mind. You need to just go through the root cause. When something is not happening according to you, So just understand the root cause. What is the root cause of those things? Why this thing is not happening? For that matter, again, you have to communicate. See, if we are not communicating, we get nothing. We need to communicate with all kinds of people, everybody. The person who is experienced, we should talk to them more, and the person who are not experienced, freshers, that can be said. So we also need to talk to them. How much you talk, that much you will be getting the ideas. The next point we have that is about search the root cause. This is also the fifth and sixth, the same one. Flexible mind requires always upgrade 3D printers iPad, right? So the thing is this, you know, you need to upgrade yourself. I'll give you one example of Einstein. Once Einstein, he was in any university. So that moment, he was taking the paper exams of few students, right? He has given almost same questions, around 10 questions to all the students, and the questions were almost same. So those students, they answered the same for all the 10 questions. And after the exams, Einstein said that you have given the same answer for almost 10 same questions. But you know, for 1 year, you have not studied these things. So things has been upgraded and updated. So all the questions, they have different answers. So the thing is this, if we are not upgrading, if we are not updating, so we won't get the different result. We always, when we see the situations, we see the problems, we see that this thing happens with almost people, but the solution to these kind of problems are different. For that matter, you need to understand that now the era is, today's era is about the iPad. Now we are using iPad. Now we are not using, very few people, few people are using mobile phone or like other phones they are using, but the smarter people, they are using iPad. So it has more functions. It is the upgraded advancement technological things of using the mobile phone. So a lot of things can be done by the iPad. So as you can take the example of 3D printers. So now, before we had only simple printers. So now we have got 3D printer. So we need to upgrade with these kind of knowledges. The next point we have, it's about don't devote your all time for exercise, eating, keep learning new things. Few people, they always do some exercises and they eat. They always pay attention on eating and doing exercises. They always pay attention on their physical appearance and how much they can eat or how much they just pay attention on their diet. But apart from these things, there are many things to learn. This is important to pay attention on your health. This is important to have good diet, healthy diet. But apart from these two things, just spend time for learning other activities. Keep learning other activities daily basis, every day. Then you can be the smarter. Do not pay attention only on one particular things. If you are paying attention only one particular things, so you cannot be the smarter. So you need to upgrade in all kinds of places. What all the places you have, you need to just watch everything, what others are doing, what others people are doing, different kind of activities. So these tools are important for becoming the smarter. So this is all about the presentation for how to be smarter, how to be different from others, and how to use your more brain than others. You can compare yourself with the others, how others, they are using more brain than yourself. Okay, so is there anything else, any questions, anything you want to ask to me? Anything you want to discuss with me?
No, thank you.
Okay, fine. So now the thing is this, you already have the questions. We have got around 9 or 10 questions. So these 9 questions we have, you would be discussing these questions in our breakout room. So I would allow you to share your screen and I'm going to put you all people in our breakout room. Okay. If somebody
Please
wants
share
to.
the question in our chat box, Shashiraj.
Sure. Just a minute. Let me get the question first of all. So we have got around 9-10 questions. So did you understand the topic I just spoke a bit
Yes.
fast.
Yes,
we have
it's
got-
clear.
Okay, it's clear. So you need to read the entire documents and you need to avoid the spelling mistakes, which I did. Generally, I do spelling mistakes. So you got the questions? Have you got the questions in our chat box?
Yes, thank you.
Great. So I'm putting you all people in a breakout room. You all can join. How much fast you would be joining, that much you will be getting the time to discuss the questions. And you could also discuss the presentation as well. Now you can join your breakout room. So you need to join your breakout room fast, everyone.